Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host, Patricia Rivera Wolfson. I am so happy to be here, and I'm even happier that you're here with me. So, my name, once again, Patricia Rivera Wolfson. I'm host of Soul Seekers TV, an intuitive coach, an energy healer, a wife, and a mom of 3 boys. And my mission is to teach you how to calibrate your energy, how to integrate self-care into easy and doable steps, and how to embrace your own natural gifts to achieve a life you love. That's why I'm here. And today I'm really excited. I'm talking about the power player. Okay, so this is a new name that I've kind of introduced. I used to call it the alter ego. You can call it whatever you want, but we are going to talk about how to stop fixing yourself and start creating the foundation for your success by following the steps of the power player from your future. So we're going to do a little imagination time. So we're going to have imagination time here on Me First Mornings a little bit later. In the meantime, most of this stuff, that work that we're doing together on Me First Mornings, at least right now, as I'm letting you know sort of how the Me First formula works, and we're going to do all of that work together. You can get your own GPS workbook and do this work on your own. There you go. I just gave you the link, free GPS workbook. It's on bit.ly/GPS workbook. And this will take you step by step into the workbook to help you figure out sort of how to create your own GPS formula and calibrate it to your energy, to your needs. And it really is just a lot of questions. You can go through it yourself, or of course you can reach out to me and we can do a session together and I will help you go through it. In the meantime, you could also just keep watching Me First Mornings, because I'm going to cover so much of it here on the show because I really want to share this impactful information. I want to empower you with the tools and the strategies that you need to step into the person that you already are. You already are that successful version of yourself. You already are the person that you want to become, right? The only difference is it's you a little bit further down the road, you having faced a few other challenges, a few obstacles, achieving a few more things through choices that you've made. But those choices are all made in the present, right? It's not like, oh, this successful version of me is so much better, is so much more put together, is so much more whatever, right? That's a future version of you. And it's this illusion that exists that that person is someone different than who you are right now. Because who you are right now, your power player, exists in this, physical body, in this physical time and space. You were brought here with the tools to access this power player, who you already are. All it takes is your belief in who you are. Okay, so we're going to start our usual routine. Please feel free to say hello if you're watching. I just put the chat on, so now I can see it. So say hi. Let me know you're watching. If you're watching the replay, do #replay. And let me just call up the next phase. Oh, yes, and let me remind you that if you have not gone to Jumpstart for Change on YouTube yet, if you're watching this through Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and ding that notification button so that you can know whenever I am on here and I have another video up. And I would really appreciate your support. And please spread the word. Don't forget, I'm also on other social media platforms. You can find me, of course, here on Facebook at Soul Seekers TV, at Goddess Gatherings, as well as at Jumpstart for Change. On Instagram, you can find me at Patricia Rivera Wolfson, at Soul Seekers TV, and I'm on TikTok. Just look for me there at Calibrate Your Energy. Beautiful. Okay, now that we've taken care of all that, let us begin our Me First Morning. So if you're just new to Me First Mornings, this is a little process that we do. So we do sort of a little ritual, a sacred ritual that I'm going to do with you. And this is sort of how we initiate our day, how we begin sort of this the sacred steps of our day. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what I said, and that is, who is your power player? How do you access that power player that lives within you. And we're going to talk about it. All right. So if you have a candle, we're going to start with that, and we're going to light a candle. And this just starts the sacred session. Good morning, Linda. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. Okay, so candle is lit, and we're going to do some essential oils because I like to smell them in the morning. And, all of these things, once you create a habit or a ritual, all of these things also act as sort of sensory triggers, right? So it's like I light the candle, and, much like Pavlov's dogs, right? Once you get used to a certain habit or routine, then your body knows what to expect. So the candle already is the beginning of me starting to relax, right? And then, of course, the essential oils that approach me, through my senses, through my olfactory senses specifically. I just smell it, and then I feel it. I put a little bit in the back of my neck. I put it in my hair because that's, then I have that scent. And I smell it, and already I'm feeling lighter. Already I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed. And that's the idea, right? Even though you wake up and you think, oh, I just woke up, I should pretty much be relaxed. But if your mornings are anything like mine, and you're rushing out of the house, or you're getting kids out of the house, and you're making lunches, and you're making sure everybody has their stuff, even if you were to wake up feeling, sort of refreshed, the morning, go, 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 fast paced pressure of getting everybody out of the house, it shifts your energy once again. If if you haven't really taken the time to calibrate your energy when you wake up. Of course, you can do this when you wake up, and then you approach the morning routine from a different perspective and from a different energetic place. But that is not me. So, because I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get everybody out of the house, and I'm running and I'm rushing. And I really only take the time for myself once everybody has left the house. So I do recommend that you get up earlier before your children if you're a parent who takes care of their kids before they leave the house. However, I don't. And so this is me first. So this is how I deal with it. I get everybody out of the house. I allow myself to be frenetic in the morning if that's what happens. But then I get into my body. I take the time to do some deep breathing, and then we do this me first experience together. Okay, so we've done the essential oils. We have lit the candle, and now we're going to take 3 deep breaths, okay? So I'm holding my crystal spheres. You can feel free to grab your own crystals. I have an array of crystals I keep by my desk here. So sometimes I will, if I need something else, I'll grab a crystal that I need here. But if I don't, I usually go for the crystal spheres because they're amplifying, and it's made of clear quartz, which is an amplification. So that's what I do. So I put my hands on my lap with my crystal spheres. You can put them face down or palms up or in a mudra, whatever you want. But we're going to do these 3 deep breaths. They're going to be cleansing breaths. And we are going to call in the beautiful healing energy from the heavens, and also pull in, using our legs almost like straws, right? We're going to just like pull in the nutrients and the healing energy from the earth. And we're going to allow those 2 energies to meet in our body. And sort of, I like to imagine, like, that scrubbing bubbles commercial, like the toilet commercial. Okay, look, you do what you can to kind of, imagine, right? But it sets an intention. So imagine that, like, the energy that I've called in from, from the earth and from the heavens, okay, that they come together, and sort of like the scrubbing bubbles go through and permeate all of my cells and just loosen up any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy, and just kind of like goes in there with its beautiful light, and just kind of like with UV light almost, and just scrubs away all the things that we don't need. And then on our exhale, we breathe out, or we release all of the things that don't serve us. So all of that stuck, stagnant, and dense energy that we hold within our body, we release it with our exhale. So we're going to do that now. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. Remember, deep breath in and hold and release. Okay, let's do that again. We're going to take a deep breath in, and remember, you want to expand your belly, right? And I want you to imagine the air traveling, that healing energy. I want you to imagine traveling as you take a deep breath. You open up your belly, and then let the energy travel, and open up your chest, and then let the energy travel, and just feel it expanding your insides, and then hold your breath. and then release. Okay, let's do that one more time. A really good one. Let's make it count because this is the last one. Okay, ready? And hold. And release. Okay, yes, that felt good. All right, so now let's do a little stretching. So, we allowed the beautiful healing energy to permeate our body, and now we want to kind of release some of that stiffness, right? That stuck, stagnant energy that kind of like attaches itself to our muscles, right? We want to kind of get that moving, and movement is so good. I was talking to Linda, we were talking about movement this morning. Movement is important because it gets the energy moving, right? If you never move, the energy stays stagnant. So all of those feelings that you might have, good, bad, or otherwise, or all those worries or all those thoughts that you have throughout your day, and then you go to bed and they kind of, marinate overnight, and you wake up and you're like, oh, had a chance to marinate. And, if there's thoughts that still permeate and in the morning you're still thinking those like thoughts that aren't serving you, then it just stays there if you don't have any movement because it has nowhere to go, right? So that's part of what we want to do with the stretching. And, if you can take a walk, that's even, more beautiful, but no judgment. If you can, wonderful. If you can't, that's okay too. You can just put on some music and just dance around. And that's what we do after the stretching. We kind of shake. I didn't put any of my jewelry on today. Oh my God, guys, what is wrong with me? Anyway, whatever. I was just like, I didn't have my little, shaky shake that I always have when I do this. Okay, so you shake out the energy. So after we've stretched, now we're going to shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Okay, and just sort of feel the flow, right? Allow yourself to feel kind of in flow with the energy, and you move your body like back and forth, and well, that's back and forth and side to side, and just get that energy out. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's time to set our intention. So just take a moment, and I want you to think about what you want to accomplish today. And it doesn't have to even be an accomplishment. I almost hesitate to use that word. How do you want to feel today? At the end of the day, what would you like your sort of feeling to be? You want to feel fulfilled? You want to feel joy? You want to feel, peace? What is it that you want to infuse into your day? And however you want your day to go, however you want to feel at the end of your day, let's begin the day with setting that intention. I want to have a peaceful, easy and flowing day. I want to have a day where I feel accomplished. I want to have a day where I feel powerful. I want to have a day where I feel productive. Whatever it is for you, whatever that feeling is, think about that now. And I'm going to say the prayer that I have written for me first mornings, of course, that I say every morning. And I'm going to set the intention that all of our prayers are sort of answered, and that the angels and guides will be there to support us to accomplish the mission of our intention. Okay, so here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and keep us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right, rock and roll. Don't forget, if you're watching, please say hi. I know Linda's here. My coffee's here, and I need my coffee. I have not slept in 2 days. By the way, thank you for everybody who joined me on my birthday show yesterday. It was great. You guys really did help make my, kick off my birthday in a great way. And I'm feeling a little deflated today. I have to tell you, all the excitement of a birthday, and then the next year you're kind of like, now, the age has come, the day has come and gone, and now here we are. And isn't that life really? It's like, you're always like looking forward to something and excited about something, even in achieving your goals. You're like working hard, and as it's leading up to it, you're like, yes, I want this, I see this, I got this, right? And then once you achieve it, there's like a little bit of a, okay, maybe not that moment that you achieve it. There's like, momentary excitement. Hi, Mom. Welcome. Good morning. But, shortly thereafter, I know that this is the case for myself and many other people that I talk to. It's almost like, the goal doesn't matter as much anymore. Part of it, I think it's because, well, I've accomplished it. So, the inner critic in us is like, well, I guess it wasn't that hard because I did it, right? And so we have to work on shifting that thought. But the other thing is because we've accomplished it, then our mind is moving on to the next thing. It's like, oh, okay, we got that. Now what do we focus on? Now what do we do? Right? It reminds me of that movie. Oh, hi, Karen. Welcome. Good morning. It reminds me of the movie, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, The Princess Bride. And the whole movie is, Inigo Montoya going out for revenge. His name is Inigo Montoya, and he tells everybody, you killed my father. He doesn't tell everybody. He tells the guy who killed his father, you killed my father, prepare to die, right? And he's like out for revenge on this guy, like the whole movie. And then he finally gets his revenge, and at the end, he's kind of like, now that I'm out of the revenge business, what next, right? And it's like he's been, seeking revenge his whole life. And now he's like, now what? Now what do I do with my time and my energy and my focus, right? And that is very much what happens to us when we achieve our goals, right? So all of your energy, all of your focus is on like achieving this goal. And then once you get it, you're kind of like, okay, so that's done, So we have to figure out a way to kind of learn to infuse the excitement of the journey in our day-to-day lives, whether or not we're achieving our goals, right? And whether or not we're in the pursuit of achieving our goals. And I think part of Me First Morning, really, for me, is also about, learning to embrace the moment, embrace the now, and learning how me first, how I have value, whether or not I'm in the midst of accomplishing something, right? You have value, whether or not you have abundance. You have value, whether or not you have achieved some numerical value. And this is for those of you who watched my show yesterday, right? Like, you have value just existing in this world. Your energy is a part of the fabric of our energetic field of the earth, right? You matter no matter what, because your energetic being is contributing something regardless of whether or not you're doing anything or accomplishing anything. Your energy is a part of the ecosystem of this planet. And so you are worthy just for that. You are adding something to our planet just by existing. And whether or not you feel accomplished with that existence, remind yourself that you are just as important as the trees, as the plants, as the birds, who don't necessarily accomplish anything for us, but they, do their thing. They are, a bird does bird things, a tree does tree things. And we need to do the things that we want to do, because that is our purpose, is to shine your light as brightly as you can, whatever that may mean, whatever that means for you, however you need to shine your light, right? Whatever connects you to that light that makes you shine so brightly, that is what you should be doing. That, not the thing that's going to, not doing it just for an accomplishment, but doing it for a connection with yourself, doing it for a feeling, doing it for, because that is how you connect with source. That is how you communicate with source. And that is how you project source onto this world. It is by being the light that you already are. Connecting with your own source connects everyone else to theirs. All right. So let's see. What do the cards have to say to us today? Okay, here's the card. Here we go. Intention. All right, and it was upside down. So here is what I believe the message is for today, or what I'm receiving as the message, is be careful of doing things without intention, right? So much of our days are on autopilot, right? Because we get into a habit, we get into a routine, we have programmed our brain to function. And so much of what we do doesn't need our conscious thought, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you make lunches, you do whatever it is in your day. And sometimes it's like 3 hours later and you're like, what did I even do today? Like, what did I get done, right? You don't even realize because you've been on autopilot. And so this is super important. This is important because, and I love this. Okay, so first of all, the card is number 22, has an owl on top of an egg, okay? And this is like the seed of intention, right? It's like the owl is perched upon this egg waiting for it to hatch, right? And unless you set the intention that you want to hatch something, right? Unless you set the intention of how you want to exist in the world, then you're just kind of energy floating on this planet, right? And like I said, you don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to accomplish anything. Let me say that again. You don't have to accomplish anything to have value, but you need to set the intention and connect with your purpose, right? Connect with your purpose. Now, your purpose you don't have to have some big grandiose purpose. Your purpose can just be, I really want to, be the best mom that I can be today, or be the best dad. I want to, be someone who impacts the world in a positive way. It could be, I just want to get through my day and feel like I'm not struggling so much. That may be your day, and that's okay. Set the intention. And the intention is really connected to the GPS word and why I'm always talking about it, because it's like, what's the feeling you want, right? And so it's like, oh God, I'm so exhausted. I want to feel well rested. I want to feel at peace. I don't want to struggle so much. So I want to feel ease. And so you have to bring in that intention into every part of your life. How can I make this feel easier? Now, it's not easy. It's never easy, right? It's simple, but not easy. I say that a lot. But you have to figure out, how can I make this easier, right? You have a challenge with your kids. How can I make this easier? How can I shift the energy so it feels easier? And again, it's not to make things easy just in the moment, right? And it can feel easy in the moment, but you have to kind of think of your intention, right? And your intention is, and using kids is a perfect example, right? Because you may want to not fight with your children, for example, right? So you don't want to fight with them. So you're not going to argue with them. So if they want to play on video games for 6 hours, let them play on video games for 6 hours. And that's all well and good. I'm not going to judge you. This is simply an example. However, what if you kind of figured out that after 6 hours of video games, one of your children really just becomes aggressive, just it doesn't work for them. It's just really a bad situation. And so you want to get them off that 6 hours of screen time, but you're not quite sure how to do it because you don't want to fight. So you may think, well, the easy way out of this is to, of course, let them continue playing for 6 hours. But you're thinking of ease in the long term, right? The ease in the long term is, how can I shift this so that they can have the time that they want on screens because it's important to them, and also have them on screens for the right amount of time, that when they're disconnecting, they don't get to that aggressive point. They don't get to that point where it's like they've had too much screen time. So how can you come up with a compromise so that it works for both of you? That's where the ease comes in. So then the next time you've established a rule or a boundary or a foundation with your children, with yourself, right? Then you've come up with something that is going to make things easier in the long term. It's going to establish an easy routine or an easy habit or something easy for you to transition in your life. So keep that in mind, okay? So intention really is everything. And what you want to accomplish in the long run, the feeling that you're trying to bring into your life, you have to bring it into each and every moment. You have to bring it into each and every choice. And that brings us to, of course, our discussion about the power player. Okay, so who is your power player? Like I said, I used to call this like alter ego. I called it many things. And I have to tell you, my personal power player is like a mix of people I admire. and also a younger version of myself, right? And this may be the case for you too. So the younger version of myself is somebody who really kind of just didn't give a crap about what other people thought or said, and I just did whatever I wanted. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't think I was cruel or anything, but I kind of just did my own thing, and I always did things very differently, and I always kind of like beat to my own drum, and I was much more confident in beating to my own drum when I was younger. Now I say that because, as you grow, evolve, change, and for my particular situation, as I became a mom, it's a whole other new territory. And so things in my life, when I was solely responsible for myself, I did things with a different level of confidence and conviction and gusto. And I do it a little bit differently now because I'm thinking of my children. I have 3 kids. I have my husband. And so I'm taking a lot more into consideration. So I may be a little bit more hesitant than I was when I was younger. I may question myself a little bit more. I'm older. I don't look the same. All those sort of limiting beliefs that come flooding in, right? Because now I fit into a different mold than I did when I was in my 20s. And so I approach things from a different perspective. And so part of me, when I imagine my alter ego, that successful version of myself, I picture the version of me that was on television, that, had a successful career. And I want to bring her into my life and integrate her into my life. And for you, now, I said this in the post. So if you read the post, and I'm going to say, I'm going to read it to you, okay? Self-improvement has us believing there's a better version of us out there somewhere. And it's our job to fix ourselves until we become that person. But that's not how it works. Each choice, each action, and each experience shapes who we are. That is correct. But it is always the present version of us that makes the decisions, takes the actions, and lives the experiences. So what does that mean? That means that even though, you may think, okay, this version of me, once I have everything I want, once I achieve all the things that I want to achieve, that person's going to be able to kick ass and take names and do whatever she wants. That person has already made the choices. That person has already taken the risks. That person is you right now taking the action. So you have to figure out, really what happens is that in taking the action, you become that version of you, but you already are that person. And I really want you to hear this and be super clear. You already are that person. Oprah Winfrey, who I use as an example a lot, was already Oprah Winfrey before the money, before the successful show, before, becoming who she is now as we know her, before people got to see who she was, right? She already was Oprah. She already was that person. She hasn't changed completely as a person because of everything she had. She already was that. And she made choices with that in mind. Like, I am this person. This is important to me. These are the choices that I'm going to make because this is what I believe that I can do. And that's what you need to do. What is it that you want to accomplish in your life? Where are the areas that you feel that you're lacking right now for whatever it is that you want to accomplish? And I want you to remember that you are not lacking. You may be out of practice, okay? You are not lacking anything. Anything that you need to accomplish what you want in your life, whether it's a purpose or a mission, or it's just like what's on task, anything that you are faced with in your life, you have all the tools to do it right now. You do. You really do. And okay, if you don't have all the tools, you have a way to connect to those tools. And sure, you can talk to other people and ask them for advice or support and guidance, because that's what we're here for. We are all interconnected and need each other to exist and to evolve. But you have the ability to make the choices that you need. And so you need to figure out who is the power player in you. Who is the person that takes no shit, right? Who is the person that will own her, I'm saying her because it's me, but who will own their choices, own their commitment to becoming the person that they want to become, right? You have an idea for a project and you know it can be accomplished. You know that there's steps in the middle. Now, You may not have the project completed, but the project is already like you're able to complete it. You have all the tools you need to complete it. Now you just need to go, okay, what do I need? What choices do I need to make in order to accomplish that project, right? So if I'm going to remodel the bathroom, I need tiles, I need, plumbing, I need all these things. So all of those things may be, difficult and challenging, and I don't know what to pick and I don't know how to do it, right? All these, but you know what the ingredients are and you have the ingredients. You just then need to say, okay, so now I'm going to call the plumber. Now I'm going to pick the tiles, and now I'm going to make sure that it all happens. And then before you know it, voila, you have a finished bathroom. And I'm using, construction because it's easy, but you can do that in your own life. If you want your own show, if you want, to get a job in some company, what are the steps that you need to do? Right? And what does the power player in you, that successful version of you, what choices do they make? How do they face any obstacles that come their way? So if you already had all the money you could imagine, if you already had all the power you could imagine, if you already had the freedom and the trust that everything was already unfolding, right? It's like, oh man, I can see it. I just need to do this, this, this. That energy is very different. The person who has the energy that has already accomplished everything, that's a different energy than the person who isn't sure if they can accomplish. So you need to figure out and paint the picture. What does that version of you that has accomplished all of it, how is that person doing things differently? What is the energy around them? Well, it's trust and confidence, right? Trust and confidence. Trust that what they're doing is the right thing, and confidence that they know what they're doing, right? Confidence in themselves, and trust that the universe is going to help and bring things about. So you have to create the power player version of you in your mind and embody that person. Embody the successful version of you. Embody the peaceful version of you. Embody the free version of you in the now. And if you were free, and if you were abundant, and if you had everything you want, what choices would you make? How would you make those choices? And what would you take into consideration? And what wouldn't matter anymore? That is the most important thing of all. If you already knew that you were going to get what you want, what stories would you release? And then you have to release them. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about GPS, a little bit more about the Me First formula. I hope you join me. I am here from Monday to Friday, every day at 10 a.m., YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe and ding that notification button so that you know when I'm on the air. Thank you so much for being here. I really, truly love you all. Ooh, I think I missed a chat. Muito bom dia, São. Obrigada por estar aqui. Thank you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.